And in the studio, this is my pleasure, actually, the first time we've had two triathletes live in the studio. First of all, Greg Welch, the man who is the world champion for the Hawaiian Ironman for the age group 20 to 25. Greg, good to see you again.
It's good to see you too, Andy.
And Tony Unicomb, a man who's trying to conquer the Hawaiian Ironman for the first time. Tony.
Hi, how are you?
Not bad at all. Well, Greg, you've just come back from a successful stint in Europe in the short courses. You've established yourself as one of the world's best, and you're switching roles this time. And what sort of role switch and what sort of success can you expect? Can you retain your crown?
Well, I hope so. I hope to go one better than that. I was world champion age group last year, and I hope to actually place in the top 15 this time. So I'm aiming pretty high. I want to break 9 hours and just finish. Will be nice, yeah.
Just finished.
Yeah.
Not many people finish the Hawaiian Ironman, you know, in 12 hours. Some people take 13 hours, and the list goes on. What about yourself, Tony? This is your first try at it. I know you've been training. You've lost a bit of weight by the looks of things, mate.
Yeah.
How much weight have you lost?
Oh, I've lost probably about a stone on when I started training in the middle of winter, but this is also the leanest I've been for any race. I feel it's the best prepared I've been for any race, but I'm going over there with very modest ambition. Looking at the people who've done really well over there, you have guys like Greg Stewart, Tony Sattler, and even the Americans. It's taken them two to three times to achieve their ultimate potential, and I think Greg has achieved that every time he's gone over. He's gone up quite substantially, so I'm going to go there and find out what it's about. I am lucky because I went last year, had a look around, and it won't be so intimidating, but I do have a good idea about it.
What sort of training have you been putting in for something like this?
Well, actually, training for the Foster Ironman event in April, I found that I was doing too many miles and I wasn't getting enough rest, so what I've done in my preparation for this event is get more rest. When I go out and do my rides, I do the distance, which is 180 kilometres on the bike. I do about that distance, but I then have the next day off because I've done it much harder than I was previously doing it. So we'll see on Sunday week whether it pays off or not.
Greg, I understand that you and Tony are going out for a bit of a bite to eat after the show tonight, and Tony's diet habits have been pretty sensational the last couple of days. Do you eat the same way he does? 8 pieces of toast for breakfast and 3 cups of coffee and the rest of it? What about yourself? Seriously though, your preparation, you came back from a pretty hard stint in Europe and you did very well. Well, we can tell everyone you've finished in the top placings in every bar one race.
Yeah, well, we can forget that race, Andy.
We won't talk about the World Championship. But what about your preparation for something like this? You've been through it before.
Yeah, I've been through it twice before. This was my third Ironman, so I'm pretty experienced in it. But as for eating and that goes, you should stick to a pretty strict diet, but I don't. I like my chocolate. No, tonight we're going out. Every Thursday night we go to a little spaghetti place up in Miranda, and we just hoe into it.
You can mention the place, they might give you a free feed tonight, mate.
Zampas. Zampas in Miranda Fair. We're always there.
What about the race itself? You see graphic footage, the pain barrier, the punishment the body goes through. What do you call it, the death march?
Yeah, I think you find that most of the guys over there are very much self-contained when they're racing, and for me to go over last year and watch, I found that it looked as though the guys in the middle of the pack were running exactly the same speed as the guys at the front.
Well, you both competed in the World Cup Triathlon up in Queensland. That was a 3K swim, 30K ride and a 30K run. Pretty similar circumstances too, very hot. And there's Scott Tinley on the monitor at the moment. Tinley will be one up there with Dave Scott and Mark Allen. Of course, Mark won the World Cup Triathlon and won the World Championship, and he's always a man who's promising so much. But Dave Scott, he's won it 6 times. Mark Allen is yet to win the Hawaiian Ironman, and many say Scott will do it again, and he ran a sensational race in Japan, didn't he?
Well, there's Dave Scott there. I think he's the man to beat. He just set a new world record in the Ironman. I actually do think he's the favourite, but I wouldn't put anything past Mark Allen.
And what about the man on the monitor now?
Well, you never know, mate.
Yeah, well, barefooted again. Blisters. What about Tony? Tony, a bit of a punishing final run for you in the World Cup. You recovered quickly, though. You look in pain there.
I found it pretty hard at the end. Actually, about 3Ks in the finish, I was running with Chris Southwell, who's one of the famous Southwell brothers. And somebody came up next to us on a bike and said, well, we were 20th and 21st place. And
that was Greg Stewart just there. And Greg is another man who's done really well in Hawaii, third placing a couple of years ago. So Greg Stewart and Tony Sattler, and they're probably watching tonight. We wish them all the best, all the Aussies going over there. What about the heat and humidity? Now, you were there as a spectator. You were there as a competitor. How much fluid do you take? Do you take it every 10 kilometres or do you take it every what?
It's a 180k bike ride, so therefore you have an aid station every 10 kilometres. I took 2 full bottles every aid station.
Is that a litre?
No, it's a bit less than a litre, but I drank one. I averaged one every aid station, so therefore I drank nearly 20 litres of water just during the bike. So you've got to take your water. You've got to look at it realistically. You've got to have water, to survive. So.
What about yourself, Tony? What goes through your mind now in the lead up to your first race?
Oh, sheer panic. I went over there last year, and the thing that I realised was that it's far hotter there than anywhere I've been in Australia. I've been all over Australia, up the top end and everything, and I had to take in water. I was just standing around, and I thought I was starting to sweat and suffer just watching the race. So, as I say, I'm going to go over there with modest ambition.
Well, I'm sure all the viewers who've been watching our coverage of triathlon on SBS wish Greg and Tony Unicomb all the best in their endeavour in Hawaii. And don't forget all those other 60-odd competitors who are representing Australia. We do wish them all the best, and hopefully Australia can finish in the top 10, 3 places, hopefully, like we did in the World Championships, the short event. Gentlemen, all the best. I'll catch you later after the show at Zampa's, is it?
Hope to see you in Hawaii Ironman one year, Andy.
You never know, mate, I'm trying. And what a shame you guys won't be here for the first race of the National Ampol Series, a selection race too for the Commonwealth Games.